football lovers, welcome to another episode of Ball Chat Podcast, where we review the week's major news in the world of football, aka soccer. I'm one of your hosts, a part of the Ball Chat family. My name is Benton, along with the rest of the family. Come on, Junior, Wagwan, Manchester United fan. Junior is back. The family is back together again. Come on, you welcome him back?
Could I stay?
Could I steal? Look, I love the Argentina jersey. Come on, watch ya. Junior, you return. Manchester United won, but you return. How you doing, boss?
Greatest midfielder ever. See him can come out of the way so they can see the greatest midfielder ever. See him the greatest midfielder ever. There you go.
Hey, Junior, how you ever go on the table? What is that, brother?
Pause.
Football lovers, welcome to another episode of Ball Chat Podcast, where we review the week's major news in the world of football, aka soccer. It's a live and interactive show. We're on Flow Sports YouTube page, Ball Chat Podcast YouTube page, and Ball Chat Facebook page. You can take part in the discussion. You can send on your comments or interact with us on any of these mediums that we're on. We're also on Twitter and on Periscope, Twitch. We're also on Twitch. Today's show is divided into a few sections. We have football recap, where we're going to discuss briefly Chelsea versus Tottenham. We also have Real Madrid La Liga recap, where we'll discuss Real Madrid lost another game as Thibaut Courtois is the gift that keeps on giving. We'll have ballers and bugs as we highlight the impressive players of the week and the unimpressive players of the week. We'll wrap up the show with yard ballers as we discuss Jamaican football. Andrew Price wants some update on the Jamaican Premier League. And Damian Lowe, Chad Back to Africa family. We'll discuss that in Yard Baller segment. But we start off the show with no other than the legendary one, Mr. Diego Armando Maradona. Unfortunately and sadly, he passed away this week. They will begin the show as we highlight the one himself, the indelible Diego Maradona passed away from a heart attack this week. And come on, Junior, the legend, one of the kings of the sport, has gone on. Your thoughts when you heard the news?
Julia?
Go ahead, come on. You go first.
Oh, yeah, so it was a sad day, for our football lovers, especially seeing, someone who, played and won a World Cup for a team, a country that I support, Argentina national team that I support. You grew up, hearing about Maradona. You talk about the hand, a God goal. I mean, it's still infamous. You still talk about that. And then, you get kind of close to him because then you realize that all your heroes are actually human beings. So, in the later part of his life, he struggled and you kind of identify and you felt sorry for him because you realize that, even though he does all of these magical things on the football field, he's just a regular person. He is going to be missed, by the football fans, and we're just happy that we got to share him. I personally loved his warm-ups. I mean, when I am refereeing, that's what I use, his warm-ups. I jiggle the waist, I twist the foot. So his warm-ups are legendary, and I use them, and I think that's what I'm going to take with me.
Yes, he's left an indelible mark. Junior, we know you are a football fan, you're a Brazilian fan, but I know you have the king, Diego Maradona, in high regards. Your thoughts?
The greatest midfielder to ever grace God's earth is Diego Maradona. And I'm a Brazilian fan. I was born a Brazilian fan. My father put the love of Brazil in me and said, yo, Brazil is a side. But the first World Cup that I can remember watching is 1990 World Cup. And I will never, ever, ever forget that game, Brazil versus Argentina, when Brazil had Careca. And Brazil was supposed to win that game. But I think Argentina even went down to 10 men. And Maradona, I have never seen anybody get kicked like Maradona and get up and shrug it off and keep playing. I will never forget that pass he put to Canija. And that Sunday, I went out and I tried mimic it to the T. I tried mimic the Canija goal. I tried mimic the pass. And that is the person who Maradona is. Maradona is somebody that transcended generations, where even people that have never seen him play before still try to emulate the man based on some grainy TV. He's not even on HD. You don't have any videos of him in HD, but younger footballers try to emulate him. That's a great Maradona, a great number 10. And my fondest memory of Maradona is watching him cheer on Argentina at the World Cup. It's funny enough, watching him supporting his team, and when Argentina score, it's like the man want to jump over the railing. That is the passion he had for football, and that is something that I wish the younger footballers can show. I don't think the young footballers today show the love of football like how Maradona, Pele, etc. show it. That's my fondest memory.
Yeah. Nickname El Pepe de Oro, the golden boy from an early age. He was banned in 91 and 94 for testing positive for drug. He set 2 transfer records in the 80s. He moved from Boca Juniors to Barcelona for £5 million. At the time, it was a transfer record. Then he moved from Barcelona to Napoli for about £6 or £7 million. At the time, there was another transfer record. Golden Ball winner in the 1986 World Cup, was named FIFA Player of the 20th Century along with Pele. 2 FIFA Player of the 20th Century, Diego Armando Maradona. Let's take a look at some pictures, some memorable pictures of the one, Mr. Maradona, and what he has done for our sport. I mean, I remember the 1986 World Cup very well, and that was when Diego Maradona was above every player in that tournament. This is Maradona in '82, family. This was when he played in 4 World Cups. This is him against Belgium. This was the time they were drawn in a group against Italy, and Italy with Paolo Rossi and that impressive Brazilian team. But unfortunately, they did not make it out of that knockout round, because that was a stage when they had the first round, which was groups, and then you go into another round of group. But at an early age, we know that Maradona was something special. Any thoughts on his performance at the '82 World Cup? I mean, Paolo Rossi just had a great World Cup. We know that Brazilian team was exceptional, but they lost 3-1, and I think he also got a red card in that game, in the '82 World Cup game against Brazil.
I mean, I won't even lie. I never watched him in '82, but based on hearsay, just hearsay from me and from the elders them that watch football, I think when Maradona really cut his teeth. That World Cup, and I'm going to default to the people that are watching, and to you, Benton, and come on.
Oh, the elders.
The elders. Is that the World Cup when Maradona really cut his teeth? We hear about Pele when he was 17, I think. And he had to cut his teeth then. We hear about Ronaldo in 1998 when he had to cut his teeth against France. Was that the World Cup where Maradona had arrived, or did he already arrive at it?
Yeah, I think he arrived. He won the youth championship in the 1979 youth championship, U20 championship. He wanted to be a part of the World Cup team in '78, but he did not make that team. Come on, your thoughts on the '82 World Cup? I mean, we're not say you're old, but
I never born yet. Yeah, but when this out here, listen. As I said, you know, it was. I mean, you're young, so you don't really understand it like that. But once you start getting into football and you start to watch it, you know, you realize that it was just so special. You know what I'm saying? So if you're not a fan of football, I don't even know. I don't know what to say. I can't have a conversation with you because we don't have anything to talk about.
Yes.
But it was surreal and it was really special.
Yes. And from the '82, this is the famous picture that we have always seen in the '86 World Cup, the hand of God, when he punched. Maradona, when asked about the hand of God, he says, quote, that goal against England and Peter Shilton. Let me pull up this quote here. He said, it was, quote, it was it was scored a little bit with the head of Diego and a little with the hand of God, end quote. And we remember this goal a lot, but there was other memorable moments in that World Cup. I mean, so
That first goal.
yes, that
That
was declared as one of the goals of the century, right?
that was the greatest World Cup goal ever scored, and there has never been a greater World Cup goal, and there will never be a greater World Cup goal. I'm sorry. Just like
Yeah.
how Pele had the greatest miss ever in the World Cup, Maradona has the greatest goal ever scored in the World Cup. That was when they could legally kill you.
Yes, yes, yes.
And,
When
that,
it could
and
be,
people,
yeah.
we need to understand the context where when Maradona pick up the ball in his half, did a 180 turn with the ball in his half. This is the time when they could kill you.
Yes.
When they could put their studs in your foot and get up and walk away with it. And he dribbled down the whole English left wing, which is his right wing.
Yeah.
When you see Maradona put out him chest and do that high stride, and you say, yeah, just
Yes.
looking at the video again, it just give goosebumps. Can you just say, yo, you knew he was going to score. When him get around Shelton, you knew it is like, because there was a controversy saying, was it an own goal or was it him that really kicked the ball?
It
Look
doesn't
at the
matter.
strike on the ball. Like, come on.
It doesn't matter. That was just, I mean, and that's what Diego Maradona did when I watched him in the '86 World Cup. I was captivated by what he did, not just only against England. Games that he played, players were grabbing, kicking. He, when he was at Barcelona, he received one of the nastiest tackles on record when I think Goikea broke his leg and he was out for a really long time. So, as you said, he was like a human pinata in terms of being always under the attack. Some players use their legs as machetes when they came to Maradona. I remember that '86 World Cup final when they played Germany and Karl-Heinz Rummenigge, and that was like a bloodbath. It was a physical match. They won that game 3-2. But the ability to withstand those challenges and ride through them and still execute the pass. Not only he scored 5 goals in the '86 World Cup and won the Golden Boot, not the Golden Boot, won the play of the tournament. He also had 8 assists in that tournament, in that World Cup tournament. So he was able to still pull the trigger. I mean, I could go on and on about Diego Maradona.
Benja, one known fact about the '86 World Cup too. Maradona single-handedly made a proud nation, Germany, go back to the drawing board.
Yes,
for 4 years.
yes. And revamp.
Revamped and said, we are going to build a team to beat Argentina. And granted, they did in 1990.
Yes, they
granted,
did in 1990.
Penalty was still vexed about, but
Yes.
it's okay. But he single-handedly made a proud German national team come back and say, yo, we're locking down this team. We're taking some young players and we're building a team to beat Argentina in 4 years. That's big, man.
Yeah, and this photo is by All Sports and Getty Image. Football family, you can chime in, tell us your Maradona moment, how he has impacted you and the love of the sport. And from one legend to another, this is one of the special photos for me, is Pele and Diego Maradona, the two greatest, the two kings for me in the sport. After Maradona's passing, Pele really wrote a very, very wonderful message, wishing condolences, and he said, I wish we could play one day in the sky. I wish we would play. I would love to be at that game, football family, somewhere in the sky. As it relates to Pele, Diego Maradona said, quote, if Pele is Beethoven, I am the Rod Wood, Keith Richards, and Bono of football all rolled into one, because I was the passion side of football, end quote. And that is accurate. You right?
Very
Come on.
accurate.
It is accurate.
It is
Really?
accurate. It's absolutely accurate in terms of his. We're doing a tribute.
Listen, when you have done something that you've loved for a very long time, and it brings so much joy to people, that when you die, regardless of all the bad things that happen in his personal life, for him to get all these accolades, It says something, and and people should always strive to be the best person that they can in any given sport that they decide to play. So that people will always have good memories about you. So that's all we can say. He brought such joy, such pleasure to football fans everywhere. It don't matter what color you are. It don't matter where you're from. It don't matter what level football you love. I mean, he brought everybody together, and that was, something that's spectacular.
Yeah.
The man make number 10, number 10.
Yes, he made the number 10, number 10. Exactly. No, this is why you wonder why it's kind of blasphemous that some people wear number 10 now.
Rashford, I thought, don't he?
We'll get to Rashford later. One more as we celebrate Diego Maradona football family. We're taking a few minutes highlighting one of the king of the sport that we love so much. One of his greatest accomplishments, not just at the World Cup, but what he did with that Napoli team. This is special to me. He won 2 Italian titles with Napoli, 2 Serie A titles with Napoli, and he also won the European Cup with Napoli. Napoli, the season before he went to Napoli from Barcelona, Napoli finished 11th in the Serie A. Back then, Serie A was considered probably the top of the league. You had the top league in world football. You had Platini at Juventus. You had Dr. Socrates at Fiorentina. You had so many other great Zico at Udinese. But Diego Maradona it's equivalent to taking Newcastle in today's EPL and making them into championship material. Your thoughts on his time at Napoli? He scored 115 goals, which was a club record, and it was only broken recently by Mario Hamšík and Dres Martins. Napoli had retired the number 10.
Well, I love Napoli. Maybe because he was associated with Napoli. Napoli is I not like Syria. I like them.
Yeah.
But that's the team my undercover kind of support. I guess because he was associated with them. But it is a testament to his skill and his talent that anywhere that he goes, he leaves a dent. He leaves his legacy. So I just applaud everything that he has accomplished and everything he has done, club level, country level. He put so much pressure on the Argentina shirt where even though Messi is the current best player in the world.
Okay, come on, don't take out the CR7 people.
It's like Messi can't, it just leave this big legacy where it kind of overshadow Messi because he'll not accomplish what he has accomplished. Maradona has accomplished for Argentina. So, everywhere that he has gone, he has left his mark. And Napoli is one example of where he is.
And this is something what the young generation needs to understand. Our kids need to understand. The so-called star great players of this era, they go to clubs that are established winning clubs. Barca's, the Real Madrids of the world, the Juventus, these are winning clubs. They have a history of winning. What Diego Maradona did in 1985, he went to Napoli, a team that was at the bottom of the barrel, and made them into champion. Junior, what is more impressive than that?
Nothing is more impressive than that. And that if you were to pick a player and say, who do you think in the prime of their career will go to a second-tier team just for the challenge of making them better? Maradona will be the first player come to mind. Yeah. Look at the Argentina team. I know nobody Passarella. Don't show none of them players out to me. We know about Argentina and their history of defense, right?
Yes.
But remove Maradona from those Argentina teams, 82, 86, 90. Then they wouldn't play the way they play.
Yeah.
They wouldn't, especially 86, obviously. I don't think they would have won the World Cup, me personally. And that's just me personally. Yes. Maradona is the difference. And that, like Camon said, the weight of that shirt, the weight of that number 10. If you notice, Ariel Arteaga, Messi, You
Yes.
notice all of them have to have a certain type of stature
Yeah,
and a certain type of look before you can get the number 10 if you notice, right?
yes, yes.
And
That
you
it
have to
carries
have
a lot of, yeah.
and wearing the number 10 from Argentina comes with a certain mentality where the people that look at you and say, yo, you're supposed to act like a cokehead on the football.
Yes, yes. Yes.
I mean, it is what it is.
It is,
And that's
yeah.
just the truth. And yo, big up Maradona, yeah, man.
Yeah,
Rest
big
in
him
peace,
up.
the king, the legend.
The legend. On his mistakes in terms of we're wrapping up football family, we're just giving a highlight on the legendary Diego Maradona before we move on to some other major news in the world of football. As it relates to his mistake, Diego Maradona says, quote, soccer is the most beautiful, or football is the most beautiful and healthy sport in the world. Football shouldn't have to pay for my mistakes. It's not the faults of the it's not the ball's fault, end quote. Diego Maradona, rest. Thank you for the wonderful years. What a player. What a player. Come on, Junior. That's it now. We can move on and talk about some of the next generation that he has influenced heavily. And football family, if you have comments or statements about Diego Maradona, send them on. We'll go ahead and read them out. We'll highlight that player and his mark throughout the rest of the show. All right, moving away from Diego Maradona, let's get ready to set up ballers and bugs where we highlight the most impressive players of the week. Come on, ballers. Who do you have as your baller of the week?
So I have a couple. I have to give it up to Cavani for an old guy who 50 plus days ago he was a free agent. People were talking about he should retire. For an old man to come on and help a toothless, rudderless Manchester United, I have to give it up to Cavani. I mean, not only did he score the game winner, but he completely changed the game with him old man self. Him deserve a raise. Might as well all make him be assistant coach at this point. So Cavani is whatever. And Mendy, we have other ballers out there, but I have to say, even though the Chelsea versus Tottenham game today was boring, drop asleep in a middle and wake up back the same time to see an offside goal.
Yeah.
But Mendy has changed it. And we talk about the strikers, the wingers, the defenders, but our goalkeeper is not letting in anything. So Chelsea's goalkeeper, he is my baller as well. He has kept more clean sheets than any other goalie in the Premier League this season. And I think that needs to be celebrated.
You know, come on, when you said Mendy, I thought you were talking about Benjamin Mendy of Manchester City.
Oh, you need stop it.
But ball of the week to Edward Mendy of Chelsea, as he has kept another clean sheet, as come on rightfully said. They have kept more clean sheets than any other goalkeeper in the EPL. An impressive run-in from Mendy and the Chelsea back line with the old Thiago Silva. Looking good Chelsea. Come on is also giving a ball of the week to El Matador, Edson Cavani. Scored 2 goals. And we'll deal with bugs of the week later on, because Southampton must have a bug waiting as they let Manchester United come from 2 down to win that game 3-2. Junior, my general, who do you have as your ball of the week?
Why my ball of the week goes to the entire AC Milan side. A team that we said, yo, them they are dead in the water. Yo, they are dependent on the old man. Yo, them look good. Look at where they are now. So I gotta give it to AC Milan for sure. Leading the Serie A, winning with the injured Lion on the sideline. So big up to AC Milan. And that's it, though. Not more ball of the week.
Yeah, AC Milan continue, and surprisingly, they continue to win. I thought the Dolly House would mash up, or actually they would have run into some sort of poor stretch as they won again this week. And AC Milan extended their lead to 5 points at the top of the Serie A prior to the Napoli game. The Napoli game ended with Napoli with a resounding victory, who have since reduced that way. But AC Milan has been impressive, and they look like a special outfit with goal from Kessie. Imagine Kessie and Romagnoli scoring for AC Milan. My ball of the week is FC Cologne in the Bundesliga. FC Cologne shock Borussia Dortmund 2-1. Big bad Borussia Dortmund lost to FC Cologne. FC Cologne, this is their first victory this year in the Bundesliga. This victory over Borussia Dortmund ended an 18-game winless streak. Imagine, let me repeat that against Borussia Dortmund. 18-game winless streak. FC Cologne sitting in 18th position, defeated the high-priced Borussia Dortmund. And the funny thing, and the reason why they should get the ball of the week, both goals were scored the identical way, off corner kicks. FC Cologne player run to the front post, flicked it on to the back post where Skeheri was sitting there waiting both times for ball of the week. Is FC Cologne, Skeheri scoring both goals. So FC Cologne is my ball of the week. Let's switch to bugs of the week. Come on, who do you have as your bug of the week?
Before we got to bugs, so Dalton Stewart says his baller is Mares and Wolves. So those are his ballers. And then he said, no wonder we saw Argentina saw become a support there.
You know, that makes absolute sense, Dalton.
That makes no sense.
No anyway, wonder Argentina hasn't won a World Cup since 1986.
I have a couple ballers and bugs. You finish?
And big up the Crime Minister. Crime Minister says big up the top baller Maradona. Hail up Crime Minister. Send on your Maradona comments. Yeah, I'm sorry. Come on, go ahead.
So my bugs, Frank Lampard needs to be my bug. And this is the reason why. I've always talked about Frank Lampard's management skill. I have been yelling from the 51st minute that Tammy Abraham needed a sub. Put on Giroud earlier. But no, 79th minute. I'm telling you, Tammy and Mason Mount, even though Mason Mount looked like he was injured, he did not deviate from his plan and he did not want to sub anybody till the 80th minute when it was too late. So him get my bug. VAR also gets my, every week we talk about it, we're going to talk about the penalty that gifted Brighton the equalizer versus Liverpool in the 90th minute. Southampton for giving up that 2-0 lead to a toothless Man U with no clear number 9. Real Madrid and Chelsea's ex-goalkeeper, I will not even say his name because I have him up. He basically rolled the ball onto the Deportivo player's foot. For a big goalie, he must have box cross him head back.
Those are the views of Come On Lee.
Yes. And I stand by them because I want a box. Moldova's women's team, they lost 10-0 to Spain in the Euro women qualification. So they have to get my honorable bug mention because 10-0 in this day and age, come on, people.
Yeah,
so
imagine.
So Frank, VAR, Southampton, and Real Madrid.
And there you have it. It's an infestation. Frank Lampard for refusing or reluctance to make adjustment as Chelsea looks happy to take a tie against Spurs in the 0-0 toothless game. Come on, Lee's also giving a bug of the week to Thibaut Courtois, goalkeeper that keeps on giving as he gave away a goal to Alabaz in the game against Real Madrid. And what women's team? Come on.
Moldova.
Yeah, Moldova for picking up 10-0. So those are your bug of the week. Did I miss a bug? Come on. VAR. Okay. VAR also. Junior, who you have as your bug of the week, brethren?
Yo, listen, man. And me and Dalton were about to fight. But it is what it is. Every single Liverpool fan and clap. Only need for shut up. Yeah? Let's stop the talking. Clap. You are my bug of the week. But for ranting and raving about the schedule. I remember 3 years ago when you just came in the Premier League and you are trying to be where you are right now. You were so angry against Pep and Joseph for their constant talking and not coaching, not worrying about. And look at you now. And look at you Liverpool fans out there that 3 years ago. Oh, every time Joseph this and Joseph that. Every time Pep this, Pep that. Look at you and your coach now. Let's stop the talking, man. We want to get bug of the week. And what a brother name from Brighton? Marpe.
Yeah, Mape, yes.
I remember the game against Manchester United when you ball on the field, right?
Yes, 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 yes.
Crying like a baby. And then yesterday you get penalty, kick with a penalty, and then oh you just randomly injured. Let me tell you something. You fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you. Brother, no, you're not injured. You're a bug. And you are a soft bug. You don't deserve to be in the Premier League. You ball too much. You miss your penalty. You cry. You fake an injury. Walk off of the field and walk in the back room. Listen to me. You're lucky. You're lucky there are no fans in the stands. Because you need to be tired and feathered. You're a bug, Marty. That's it.
Neil Mape is one of Junior's bug of the week. Neil Mape picked up an injury, missed the penalty, and actually didn't waste some time as Brighton was not ready. So Neil Mape gets a bug of the week from Junior, along with Jurgen Klopp and the Liverpool family. Junior is giving them a bug of the week for the complaining about the schedule. We'll discuss that as we discuss Liverpool versus Brighton as we later on in the show. My bug of the week is Southampton FC, the Saints. Yes, they're doing well this season, but they had a bug performance today. They led Manchester United 2-0 at halftime. This team has lost 25 points from winning position this season. Southampton coach Ralph Hasselnut says that, well, he thought his team did fine. He thought they did okay. They were playing against a great team. What team is great? Manchester United is not great. Bug of the week for Southampton. If you believe you're inferior to your opponent, that is what you end up. There's no way that you're supposed to have lost that game from such an advantageous position being up 2-0. Bug. Southampton gets the bug of the week for me. And Arturo Vidal, Brethren of Inter Milan. Arturo Vidal picked up consecutive yellow cards in the Champions League game as Inter Milan looks to be on the way out of the Champions League as they pathetic display against Mönchengladbach this week. We'll discuss that later on in our show. Come on, I was surprised that you did not give Vidal a bug of the week.
No, I forgot about him.
You forgot about
Iraq Entertainment said, Chelsea fan, good point. The teacher is yet to beat the student.
The teacher is yet to beat the student. All right, let's go to our football recap. Let's quickly touch the EPL. The big game of the week, Chelsea versus Spurs. Chelsea came away with a point. Both teams came away with a point. Your thoughts on the game, other than the fact that it was boring?
Other than the fact that was the entire game. Boring. Listen, both teams had the opportunity. Well, Tottenham was still top of the league, right? Yeah. Chelsea had the opportunity to go in first place. I mean, like, what kind of display is this? It's like they're both teams were happy with 1 point. I guess I will reach, I mean, like, Chelsea played down to Jose and in boring football today. It was just, I just never liked the game. The outside goal was ruled correctly. So I mean, the outside was through by a little smidges. But we never really attack Tottenham. The good thing is we never allow Tottenham to catch it on the counter because that's their game plan. Them slung in your box, and one turnover, them gone. So they got no opportunity to that, which was good. But goalkeeper never really worked today. He could have played Candy Crush on him phone if he did want because it was a boring game. And I don't understand Frank Lampard is talking about wanting to play attractive football. It just wasn't it today, And I don't understand why. Yes, if you play Tammy and you keep him in the game, he will eventually score. But when you have a team as soft soap like Tottenham, I mean, come on now, you're banging the goals them enough, and we know that Giroud is a proven goal scorer. Why are you bringing Giroud on with 10 minutes to spare when you really need a goal? It was just ridiculous to me. So the game was ridiculous. It was boring. Josie kind of games, but for Chelsea, I don't like unattractive football for Chelsea.
Yeah, so Junior, this was right up the alley for Jose Mourinho, right? No stress. Will take the victory if it came their way, but I'm sure Jose is happy with this point, knowing that they were competing against a team that potentially is a title contender. I mean, your thoughts?
Big up, wait, before we say, big up Iraq Entertainment. Iraq said that I don't agree with you. If we played like we normally do, they would beat us. It's not about Chelsea. They set up the counter attack and they did it once. I'm gonna tell you something, people. Both coaches are playing chess, they're not playing checkers. Why why are you trying to win the league in November, the end of November, when you can chance losing the league in the end of November? You have a stronger chance of losing the league today than winning the league. You're not winning today, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
if Tottenham went out for the win and lost, then Chelsea would have leapfrogged them, yes. But if Chelsea went for the win and lost, yes, it's 1 point. We might look back at the end of the season and say the reason why Chelsea finished at top of the league is because of that 1 point they got against Tottenham in November 29th.
Yeah.
To me, both coaches looked and said, look, you're a great team. We'll have bug teams to play against in the Premier League. Tell you what, we share the spoils and then we'll figure it out. Let's see who's going to slip against the bug sides and later. That is what it was.
But look here now. If Chelsea go on to lose the Premier League by 1 point, we don't want to hear it, Junior. Because this was the thing. It's just we talk about every vote count because people lose by 1 vote. Same thing. I mean,
so come
I
on.
get the counter argument, right?
Yeah.
But if you look on paper, not even really on paper, look on the pitch. Apart from Gareth Bale could have come on, apart from Son, apart from England star player. Look at Chelsea's thing. Timo Werner fast like him fast bad, right?
Yeah.
We have the old man Silva around there. I just think that playing scared football it's just not the way to go, and I understand. I really understand. We're sure up a back line, our goalkeeper is good. I see no reason why we could not chance it. Yes, if we drop 3 points, I mean, we have some other DBDB team we can beat up. But I hate when we go into games and play unattractive, timid, afraid, and fool football. It just never. Yes,
but look at it this way. The two teams that are played against each other today have no business being top of the league based on your standard. You don't see Chelsea as a title contender. You don't see Tottenham as a title contender. But yet they are top of the league. Why are they chancing that right now? When them can say, let us see if we can build momentum. Why are we chancing it? We're not Liverpool that win Champions League, win the league. We're not City or drop 6-0. So it's not like so we can turn it off and on. Why?
Yeah, but why not? I mean, why not? Balls to the wall, throw things on the wall to the stick. Why not? If people don't think that we have, Chelsea, because something I have to draw myself from Chelsea. If people don't think Chelsea have a legitimate chance of winning, I mean, what is there to lose? What is there to lose? I tell you, I keep on going back to the Leicester City. Nobody had Leicester City winning. And Leicester City was, Jonah, tell me again where Leicester played timid. It was all guns blazing. So at least, even if you never empty the magazine today, at least fire off 5 shots. I mean, Chelsea had 2 shots on goal. It was in the second half, like the 50th minute before they registered the second shot on goal. You spend all this money to can't have a shot on goal. You know what? We don't even talk to you now because it's what you come to expect because you're a Manchester United fan. I don't expect that from my Chelsea. We'll go out there and buy all these young, talented players for all this money to only register 2 shots on goal.
And my take on this game, I understand both sides of this argument. I think that yes, there are Chelsea fans who will say, well, this is just early days, but it's a chance to lay down a marker against Spurs, a team at the top of the leaderboard currently in the league. And I thought Frank wet the bed today in his decision making. I thought he was reluctant to adjust things when needed to be adjusted. I mean, Tammy Abrams wasn't at it today. Hakim Ziyech was not at it today. You have to make those adjustments as a coach, and this is the real test of young managers the Artetas, the Lampards of the world, as they try to formulate or put together some sort of winning strategy going forward. So I think Jose Mourinho was perfectly fine going there, parking a bus, hit them on the counter attack. If they get if they get 3 points, great. If they take 1 point, more importantly, they don't lose the game. I think that was Spurs' strategy, and they don't care because next week they play Arsenal at home, and I'm sure they're probably going to beat Arsenal. So it was incumbent on Chelsea and Lampard to go and win this game, score and pull Tottenham out of that park the bus mentality, and they didn't do it. So I see both sides of this argument. Junior, you were saying comments from Iraq. What is Iraq saying?
Iraq said it's still early days, Mom. Starting to come on, a lot of games to go. Next month is the acid test. Well, guess what? You guys play next.
We don't put off what we can do today till next month, football family. This is why we try to win games as we see them. Let's try to move on to other games that occurred this weekend in the EPL. The big headliner, at least the big controversial stuff, was all about Liverpool and the post-match tantrum from Jurgen Klopp about the schedule. Now, come on, they drew with Brighton. Yes, they have injuries. Yes, they have a lot of issues. But Jurgen, is he going a little bit too crazy there with this whole scheduling issue?
No, you know what? I don't think so. I really don't think so. The scheduling is off. Pepper that with friendlies, right? Pepper with international duties, with other competitions going on. He's not being unfair. Yes, when other people were complaining, he was one who said, "Una complain too much." But you know what? The shoe is on the other foot right now. You can't play a game Wednesday and then come now and play a midday game and expect that you have your best players. And listen, this is not only for Liverpool. This is for everybody. And you see it in terms of injuries. So yes.
But come on, the issue is the Premier League, as Des Kelly in that interview rightfully said to Jurgen Klopp, the Premier League clubs set the schedule. They set the different match windows. The broadcasters in the Premier League agreed to certain prime TV slots. Liverpool is one of those clubs who have benefited heavily from those prime kickoff slots, which is maybe 12:30, which is 12:30 in the UK. Yeah.
Right, but then now in hindsight, he's saying that he's taking that. So listen, when the people are in the boardroom or whatever making all the decisions, they don't factor in the injuries and the body. It's all dollars and cents for them. So now when it is affecting Klopp, maybe he bit okay with him and say, guess what, you make millions of dollars, shut up and you must play. But now that it has decimated his team, now he have a problem, which basically makes sense because we have been saying that the friendlies, they don't need the friendlies. You really don't need the friendlies in the middle of a congested scheduling. And with COVID, everything is good. So I get what he's saying, but the problem is that when other coaches were complaining, he was one of them to say, you know what, suck it up and let's move forward.
And
so
he did,
but he's not incorrect.
Yeah, and yes, he's definitely not incorrect. He's definitely taking a toll on his team and other teams. You know, he took a swipe at Chris Wilder and Sheffield United because Chris is definitely and abundantly against the 5-sub. Klopp is pushing heavily to have the 5-sub. Junior Pringle, why would the lower teams, the bottom of the half of the table, vote for 5-sub when the 5-sub would be more beneficial for the big teams, the teams that play Thursday and Tuesday night, and Wednesday night in Champions League? Talk to me.
Yeah, answer one question.
I mean, so why is he going after Chris Wilder? I mean, you know, it's this tit for tat with Chris Wilder.
It is unfortunate because Liverpool is doing so well despite the circumstances. Yes. They are doing so well. You are tied for the top of the league. You're just behind on goal difference. Just write it out. Your competitors have the same problem. Your competitors have to play the same crunch schedule. Tottenham is playing on Thursday and coming back and playing Sunday. You don't hear Joseph crying and bawling like you right now, right? So, yes, it is legit. And Dalton, big up, it's legit. But if it was only Klopp alone, if it was only Liverpool alone facing this problem, then yo, by all means, go out, go all out. But yo, everybody will go through this right now. Everybody have to live with it. And I'm gonna say this, club, you should have never transferred Rian Dusa out of your club.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
You could use it now. Could use it now. Let's try to hit the chat. Dalton, Stewart is saying club is simply saying you cannot play Champions League Wednesday and play a 12:30 game on Saturday. If you don't see it's killing the players, you're senile, Junior Pringle. Junior, it's a club. Dalton, we're not saying that it's not a bad on the players'
Not
health.
saying that.
You know, it's definitely a problem. But this is why these teams have gotten the Champions League money. This is why these teams have gotten the prime TV spots money to expand their team. And yes, it's affecting the players' health. But this is why coach and management has to come in. I mean, he says, you know, in every other year this would have been fine, but because it's a COVID year, this should not occur. I doubt the TV broadcasters are going to do a modification of a TV contract just because it's a COVID year.
You know what? And today Nuno from Wolves, the coach for Wolves, he made a very good point, and I never thought about it this way.
Yeah.
He's saying the reason why he likes a small squad, right, is that it's because he does not want the issues in the camp. He wants everybody to play a part. He wants everybody to feel as if they're contributing. When you have a big squad, you're going to have disgruntlement and you're going to have disunity in the camp. And I never thought about that. And you know, when I talk to my son about the same thing, when he does not get minutes at his club, when he was the number 2 striker, and then them bring in a next man because they make the squad bigger, you realize that people who used to play not playing anymore, and you get unhappy, and it shows. So when he said it today, I kind of go back to something that Klopp has said previously, where he does not want a big squad, and he didn't expand on that. But when Nuno said it, I kind of understand what he's saying. So, you know, and if you look for a Wolves squad, so it's not a big squad. Yeah. And that is the reason why. And maybe that's the reason why Klopp also has a small enough squad, because he wants everybody to be involved.
Come on. Nuno put up a big middle finger and send it to Anfield today. That comment is a direct salt in the wound in a wounded animal. That comment is a comment to unsettle Klopp. 100%, and probably the reporter, probably the reporter in the context of the question led him down that path, but he took the bait and ran. Nuno is a very intelligent man, and he knows what he's doing. He's unsettling Klopp. He knows, all the coaches know right now, there's nothing we can do about it. Also, all the coaches know if there's one team that is about to jump deep in the transfer market is Liverpool. And the team that is now currently tied for number 1 in the Premier League is about to go out and buy a defender. Is about to go out and buy a midfielder. That's just a given, right? And more like that defender and midfielder cannot play in Europe. So that midfielder and defender will only be coming to play local football. You are about to see a stronger Liverpool in January. Okay. It's just like
but Klopp basically Klopp don't want to do that, but he has been forced to do that. It's a difference. You know, okay. You have some clubs out there because Junior, his defender is injured for the entire year. His team has been riddled with injuries. So if he goes out there to get players who are only going to play domestically, it's not the perfect situation. And he has been forced. It's not like a Chelsea would go out there. Listen, Chelsea have 2 loan squads out there. 2 loan squads. It's not like Chelsea. Liverpool is not a Chelsea. They're not going out there and buy 50 players just to loan them out. Klopp has been forced to do this, and there's nothing wrong with that. He wants to compete. He's not an Arsenal who
okay. We're talking about winning teams here.
They're comfortable with a 7th or 8th. No, comfortable with a 7th or 8th place, and don't think that they need to improve on that.
Okay.
Klopp wants to win, and he has to go out there and add the pieces that were injured. He doesn't want to do it. And you realize that in the squad size and how he rotates his players.
All right. And to be fair, Jurgen Klopp did say that this is the last time he's going to talk about this. He's moving on. Just, good luck to Liverpool. I think they definitely have injury concerns, and COVID has affected them negatively. But, the way, the current position they are in the league, they will be fine. I think they have enough good players and enough good coaches and recruiting system. They will be fine. So, go easy, Jurgen Klopp. Don't send up your blood pressure, family. All right, let's try to hit some quick hits as we're pushing up against the clock. Junior Pringle, your Manchester United team won 3-2. Quickly, your thoughts, or is just because of Southampton?
Let's not waste any time on it. I mean, any
All right,
team,
come on.
any team that decide that they want to attack Manchester United, that coach needs to be fired. Any team that bring a team to play and say, we are going to attack this team, you need to be fired immediately. You're the dumbest coach.
Yeah, Ralph Hasenhuttl was. All right, come on, quick hits. Arsenal lost 2-1. Arsenal now sitting in the worst start in Premier League history for this club. Come on, Mikel Arteta, as a young manager, now going through a little bit of a rough spot. Your thoughts?
He'll be fine. I mean, Arsenal will always be in the building stage. They have more patience than the Russian. If he was at Chelsea, he would be in the hot seat. But I think Arsenal is a work in progress. Somebody need to check on Ronaldo, because Ronaldo was venting today. Somebody called him to do a wellness check. He's a lifelong Arsenal fan. So I think Arteta is okay, but not for long. And I do think Arsenal will need to go there and get players, because what they have now is not working, really not working.
Yeah. And quick hits as we try to touch on more news around the world of football before we head to Yard Ballers. Come on, in La Liga, Real Madrid. It's puzzling with this team. They do well in Champions League, and then they go back to La Liga and they just do stupidity. Your thoughts, Junior, come on.
The goalkeeper, I'm not going to call his name because I still have him up.
Yeah.
The goalkeeper, for a big, established, experienced goalkeeper, the blunders that he makes, it's really, really puzzling. And he kind of deflated the side. Yesterday, Real Madrid looked tired. They looked out of sorts. And what I like, the little dibby team, them who you think don't have a chance, they actually play with heart. And yesterday, Deportivo gave them a nice one for their money.
Yeah, yes. Alba's defeated them. Junior, Atletico Madrid quickly won against Valencia. It's also puzzling with this Atletico Madrid outfit. It's boring, listless victories, but at least they're winning, right?
This is the perfect year.
One goal.
The one goal.
They never even score.
But this is the perfect year for Chulo. This is the perfect year for pragmatic, deliberate football because of the schedule crunch, because of the quick turnaround. The teams that are well organized, the teams that have that grit, are the ones that are going to be successful this year. So, who knows? This might be the year for Atletico Madrid overall.
You brought up a very good point, Junior, because Arlo White of NBC SN alluded to something similar regarding Spurs. Both Spurs and Tottenham and Atletico Madrid play similar sort of park the boss and counter sort of style, and he was saying that is this the year for this sort of style because of the schedule? Time will tell. Looking over into Serie A, come on, Juventus. 3 ties in their last 5 games. Andrea Pirlo is missing a creative midfielder. Panic being gone is just a bit tricky for this outfit. Your thoughts?
It was, and Morata picking up the red card was a little bit troubling as well. Your side need everybody, all hands on deck. So it was kind of weird. So I don't even know. They looked a little bit like they're struggling. So they need to pick up the pace.
Junior, Sassuolo lost. Sassuolo was at the close to the top in Serie A Inter Milan, after the debacle of this week, a Champions League game, they defeated Sassuolo. It looks like things are turning the corner, right?
Things have turned the corner for who?
Inter Milan.
Man, stop it, man. Next.
So he started Alexis Sanchez and bench Lukaku and produce a different look. So I mean, they scored quite a few goals.
You have a team full of inconsistent, overpaid stars. Why are we surprised when they play inconsistently and sometimes look like overpaid stars? It just blows my mind. That's why Vidal is the way he is.
Yeah.
You know, it just. I tell you already. Conte is going to have a historic meltdown on the sideline or in the media. That was my prediction, and it is going to come true. Watch.
Yeah, and Antonio Conte, based on some reports, is already starting to separate himself from this fiasco at Inter Milan. Let's start previewing, predicting some games before we get to Yard Ballers. Champions League is coming on this week. Junior, and come on, prediction time. We have Atletico Madrid versus Bayern Munich, big game in Champions League. Atletico Madrid needs this victory. Your thoughts? They're sitting there in the same group with Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich has already made it to the next round. Lokomotiv tied with Atletico Madrid this past week. If Lokomotiv can beat RB Salzburg and Atletico Madrid lose to Bayern Munich, they could be in a spot of bother going into match day, final match day. Your thoughts?
Locomotive now beat.
Junior has a tie here. I mean, it's interesting.
Junior weird. That's why. No.
That's a draw game. That's a hands-down draw game, and it might even be 0-0.
Yeah. And in the London derby in the EPL, Spurs versus Arsenal. Arsenal has to find a way to win this, but can they? How can Arsenal beat this so-called high-flying Tottenham, and high-flying in air quotes?
I was gonna say, wait. I mean, explain high flying.
Yeah, in air quotes. In air quotes. In air quotes.
No, actually, I see Arsenal beating Tottenham. I really see it. I see.
Yeah, but
Arsenal,
you have Tottenham beating Arsenal in the prediction.
I changed my mind today. I mean, I changed my mind today.
Well, after today's defeat against Wolves, you have Arsenal winning now against Tottenham.
Yeah, man. Tottenham just never. There's nothing. So there's just nothing for Tottenham. Arsenal played a little bit better. It was attractive football-ish.
And as it relates to Tottenham, quickly, in the Europa League game, Dele Alli seems to be coming out of the doghouse as he made an appearance in that game. So they're.
But he wasn't in the 18 today, so what kind of doghouse you're talking
about? Tottenham played against a high school team. So what Tottenham did is what Klopp need to do. I'm bringing some fringe players, some youth ballers, and some ballers they are trying to get rid of. I'm playing them no-name games. I made them try to prove themselves. Klopp, take notes from a big coach.
Okay, just easy with the Liverpool fans, Junior. Big game for Arsenal. Arsenal needs this victory as they try to move towards a European Europa League or Champions League spot. Our prediction point standing, Junior is leading. Junior is doing quite well. Come on down about that. Junior, impressive week. As I need to find a way to close the gap and take the lead again.
No, okay, you want to tell you what your guys' problem is?
Yes.
You guys want to play for the victory while I play for the 1 point. It's a long game.
It's a long game.
I'm playing chess, not checkers.
Well, again with the chess versus checkers. All right, football family, let's check the chat to see what's good. Big up GB Bank to come on, Wagwan with your bug Chelsea. Arsenal back to being England's favorite banter. Klopp will seem like he's not to shop. Klopp still seems like he's not going to shop January. And Gigi Bank says Unai Emery sitting in third in La Liga. Arsenal need a whole squad. Yes, Unai Emery is doing quite well in La Liga with Villarreal. And no, he's not returning to Arsenal, Gigi Bank. As it pertains to La Liga, Real Sociedad drew with Villarreal. They continue to lead, surprisingly. I mean, at some point, Real Sociedad will collapse, right?
Are you hoping?
Yeah, I mean, at some point they will
I
collapse.
don't know. I mean, rack up the points. It's not who plays the most attractive football, it's who gets the most points. So
Yeah.
all they have to do is continue racking up the points, hoping Barcelona drop points, hoping the other teams behind them drop points, and just keep going. And the way whole La Liga set up this season is like it's anybody's game. We
Yeah.
can't pinpoint. Barcelona suck sometimes, play they won 4-0. Messi scored, Brathwaite scored, Griezmann score, Coutinho score, and then look at Real Madrid. They lose 2-1. So, they just need to keep grinding
And,
and get
and
the
and the
point.
interesting thing about Real Sociedad before we go to yard ball is that Real Sociedad does have veteran leadership in David Silva and Nacho Monreal, formerly of Arsenal. Nacho Monreal to help in that outfit. All right, let's segue to yard ballers. Come on, uh, Damien. Oh, Ghana, Africa. Wagwan.
Website name, Al Ittihad. Somebody need to pronounce that. Benton.
Damien Lowe playing for an Egyptian team in Egyptian league. I will get the pronunciation next
So,
week.
okay, roll your R's. So Damien Lowe signed a 2-year deal with a team in Africa, the Egyptian Premier League. People are kind of up in arms. There's a money move, a career making move. Listen, it's his decision. Him choose where he want to play, what is best for his family. A 2-year deal is comfortably enough where he can play his games, get his minutes, still get his caps to Jamaica. Jamaica will open the ranking and he can go somewhere else if he chooses. So, congrats on the deal. There may enough little players out there still don't have a contract. We can call a few where they're Jamaica West Talk. Omar Holness and Darlington FC lost 6-0 to Bristol City in the second round of the FA Cup. I was kind of cheering for them because they were doing well. Jamaica moved one place in the FIFA ranking to 47. Shamar Nicholson came off the bench and added an assist in a 3-1 loss. Leon Bailey added another goal in a 4-1 win in Europa. He played, I think, yesterday or today, and they tied 0-0. So he wasn't really productive today, but his goals are coming, and he is now starting and getting his minutes. Kamar Lawrence was an unused sub in his team's 0-0 game. We currently have no players in the MLS playoffs. Orlando lost today to New England. I think it was 3-1 when I finished watching it. Deshaun Brown, he's playing in the Indian Super League. So the season just started. So he played for 32 minutes today for Bengaluru FC, and their result was 0-0. We have another player, Kevin Freitas, in Israel. He plays some Maccabi Netanya. He plays 70 minutes in a 0-0 draw today. So Jamaicans weren't really scoring this weekend. So hopefully we can pick it up next. So that's all I have for yard ballers.
That's all. Big up, and the club is Al Ittihad in Egypt as we look forward to see Damian Lowe go on eat your food family as he makes his move to Egypt in the Egyptian Premier League, the top flight league. Before we wrap up our show, let's talk about the Jamaican Premier League quickly. Andrew Price family had some very, very interesting things to say about the restart or lack thereof, or clarity regarding the restart of the Jamaican Premier League. Junior, come on, your thoughts.
I understand what he's saying. I really understand what Coach Price is saying. And it's kind of weird because we don't have any guidance. And you see where everywhere else the leagues are restarting. Trinidad League restart. 80 League, them a play down there. That's why them look so fit when them come beat up Waterhouse the other day. What else them beat up my one?
Yes, yes,
So,
yeah.
It's weird. And then you see where the COVID numbers are really not high. They're kind of controlled. The Premier League, they're saying that they won't have fans, which is one way of kind of keeping the numbers down. To me, I don't know how they're going to keep out Jamaican fans because we're unruly bad. But there's really no clarification. First you hear that starting in August, then you hear October, then you hear November. Now you hear there will be no Premier League. So it's kind of weird and it's kind of rough on clubs because then you have players who are unemployed, who won't be playing, won't get fit when Jamaica needs to call on them. They can't provide for their family. The clubs might go into bankruptcy. So there's a whole mess going on. And I understand what he's saying, but if MOH don't give the Premier League or JFF permission to move forward, then there's nothing that anybody else can do. But I understand what he's saying. It's frustrating.
Andrew Price said, quote, that is left up to the directorate of the JFF to come back and let us know if the ministry has responded to them and in what way they have responded as to why the league cannot start yet, and we are still waiting, end quote, noted Price. This is according to the Jamaican Observer, and the last update that we got was that they were waiting on COVID or clearance from the Jamaica Minister of Health as it relates to starting the league. Junior, your thoughts on this statement by Andrew Price?
I think what Coach Price basically is screaming for is transparency, because it just feel like everybody give it a pill. It's like, no, just hold a pill here and just go and work with it. We'll figure it out. And that is not something to tell the players them that, your league can't start back, the league might not start back. We're not played this year. Yet you support more a play in a Champions League. It's confusing and it's mixed messaging. So if I think the federation and the people in charge just need to have better transparency. Take a page out of the other leagues books where them say if the transmission rate is 1%, we're going to have fans or whatever. Come out with something that is tangible, with some numbers that give people a metrics and say, if we have a 10 every day we only have 10 new COVID cases, we will look to start back training. When we start back training, if COVID cases don't rise that month, we're going to start back the games in a month. Why is that so hard? What is so difficult in giving people metrics to say, here's the metrics, this is what we're looking forward to, this is how we're going to start playing again. I apologize if that has been given out, but we are not privy to that information. And based on what Coach Price is saying, he's not privy to that information too. So who is getting that information? Or is it just when we feel like start by the league, we'll start by the league and tell the players themselves, come on, come play ball. And then we'll complain about the quality of the league not good. It just, go ahead, come on.
But see, and that's one of the biggest things. There's never been transparency. There's never been communication when it comes to football in Jamaica. And you see it in the quality, you see it in the output. And Coach Price is not only talking based on his club alone. He's talking also on behalf of other clubs, but more specifically, he's talking about the players who this is their livelihood. And as far as I know, and I've been asking, there has not been a package given to the clubs to say, listen, like unemployment, like in Germany, when you're injured, the club don't pay your salary. It's the government because the club pay into the government. The government pays for it. So this is basically unemployment. And as far as I know, and I've been asking, and somebody can always correct me, players have not been getting unemployment. Players have not been getting a subsidy, and players have basically been unemployed since March. How are they going to train? You need nutrition, you need somewhere to train, you need transportation, all these things. And Coach Price is correct. And they just had election, and they elected this new person to oversee the PLCA. So what is going on? What is new? And if the coach of one of the clubs, and Coach Price is also in the JFF. And if Coach Price don't have the information, then who else will have the information? So it's really sad that the Premier League is actually suffering. And you could see it too. You could see it in the quality of the players when they played the other day versus the Haitian team. And then you also see it when they went to Saudi Arabia. So it's really unfair, and they just need to improve the quality of the Premier League.
Yeah, and as we wrap up our show, but So just quickly, my thoughts on this, and General Secretary Dalton went to the JFF, alluded to that there won't be football this year. So I mean, we can scratch that, and yes, it's probably too late to expect football to happen this year. Price, Humble Lion coach Andrew Price is definitely right to want to be able to have access to this information or some level of transparency. But in order to really play football in a COVID climate, there has to be testing. And he also alluded to that. There had to be enough testing done as has been done in these other leagues. And do you guys think that the Premier League and have the infrastructure to do that sort of testing to start up a league?
Well, let me answer it before you come on. Let me answer it before you.
Well, tell them.
You remember when earlier, like last year, with the lightning incident?
No, I don't remember the lightning.
Yes.
Remember the lightning incident when
Yeah.
people get shocked in the stands, right?
Yes,
Come on.
yes.
And we start our joke, and we even say we can donate a lightning meter from Amazon. All it takes is a stupid lightning meter. You can buy one for like $30. I have one somebody at the field hold up the meter. If the meter ding, everybody clear the field, and they can't do that. How are we going to expect them now to do testing of a squad of 23 players plus coaching staff plus referees and constantly testing them? It's impossible. So testing not gonna happen. That we cannot throw that out the window. Then they're not going to test like other leagues. However, is it worth the risk? And that's the question. Is it worth the risk? And the only person that can answer that are the players. Now, a lot of players out there, like come on, allude to that, say this is their livelihood. It is worth the risk for them. Where you might even see some players get cloth masks and wear the mask just to play the game and just to give themselves the impression that they're protecting themselves. We can't let the people them run the asylum. We can't let the inmates run the asylum. We can't do that. However, we're talking about people's livelihood now. What is going to stop the Premier League players when Premier League is ready to start? What is going to stop the players them from saying, you know what, we're boycotting, we're striking, we'll not forgive a back pay before we go out on the field and play?
Yeah. And it's a complicated issue. I mean, and I know we're pushing up against the clock. We need to wrap up, but the Ministry of Health, it needs to be some clear communication, because the last thing we were told is that there was a COVID protocol being developed and they were going to talk to the Ministry of Health. I think JFF President Michael Ricketts alluded to some sort of clearance or green light in his presser earlier on this fall that the league may even start up soon. But I do understand the reluctance, the apprehension of the Ministry of Health to allow the league to start up, because you don't want a bag of COVID cases on your hand and start become a burden on your health system. So sure. I don't know the best solution. I understand that Coach Price needs some, just like all the managers, need some transparency on what to do. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, and this is the last thing I said about the Premier League, because I always complain about the Premier League. It is party shop-ish. The Jamaica, that JFF, the Premier League, the football, but it is their party shop related. And it's not even a good party neither. I don't want them mothers to have a little bit of beef in it. They need to figure out something. Because listen, if you're not going to have the fans, right? How many players? Then this is the thing. You restrict the amount of people associated to the club, right? You might not need to test the security. You might not need to test the water guy, and you're not going to allow fans. Make sure that the players, the coaches and whatever, limit it. You're going to tell me that you can't afford testing for the players? You can't afford it, none at all? Come on now.
It depends on the frequency of testing. If you have to test them multiple times in a given week, and if you're playing these games, it will require multiple times testing. So
Yeah, I get that. But this is, for example, for my son's team, 2 days before each game, you are tested, right?
Yeah.
So I'm getting a COVID test 2 days before every game. So, yes, they might have a little bit more money, but I don't see where a professional football league in Jamaica can't come with a protocol. They can't put their heads together and figure out a solution.
Yeah.
I just don't see. You're not going to involve the fans. And to me, the fans are the biggest part of any football day. You have to control them, you have to entertain them. But
Yeah.
if you have the players that you test, I mean, and even the, like, if you want to do it like for 6 months, do like what the NBA do and do a little bubble, I don't know. But they have to come with some ideas.
Yeah.
And I think the frustration is this. They're not coming out with anything so somebody can say, no, bad idea. Yes, good idea. Let us take a piece of this and put a piece of this. It's just that they just don't care about the Premier League. They just don't care about the Premier League and just don't care about the players who are invested in the Premier League. And they need to fix it.
I agree.
Okay,
Last
thank
word,
God.
Junior. Wrap up. Last word.
Real quick.
Yeah.
Real quick. Big up Frost. Frost says same damn thing at that
Language.
Organized professional football league. He said basic school government. Robinho Barnett said start up the league. Mount Pleasant. Hatchano. Frost said a straight patty shop. Chinese puppy patty. Craig Cody said R.I.P. Diego Maradona. Everybody that's listening, I have one suggestion.
Yes.
JFF, we're reaching out to them constantly. I have a suggestion for you, and I won't even require royalties. Or whoever is the governing body for the RSPL, I won't ask for royalties.
Yes, yeah.
No fans at the games, right? And I don't know, Benton, how much you think is a test worth? One test. Just a roundabout figure.
Roundabout, you can get
5 US.
5 US.
Yes.
But
All right.
but Jamaica got money from US and
No,
they got
come on. Hold on, come on. Here is suggestion. We'll round it up to $7. Come on for add tax and tariff. So $7 per test, right?
Mm-hmm.
Governing body, just find any little basement nerd, tell them to build an app. Link Flow Sports or link whoever have streaming capabilities. Lock down the stream. Only stream via the app. Charge $7 per game, and you will cover the cost to test the players. And not only that, just doing that, and you going to any private sector company in Jamaica and say, look, I have 500,000 people that is downloading this free app, and they are of like mind. Them like football. So guess what? You, Mr. Shipping Company that have a link with soccer.com, you give me $1 million and I will promote your company on this app to 500,000 people, guaranteed that you know love football. And in that $1 million, me will cover paying for every test. I'm going to pocket the $7 where everybody pay. How difficult is that? And you pay the nerd $100.
Why am I for be a nerd? Frost says source tickets to digital or flow. Absolutely correct. Jamaicans are clamoring for the start of the Premier League, and they will pay. They will pay to watch. They will actually pay to watch. And you're right, Junior. There's money out there, and I think that's what Coach Price is alluding to. Nobody is trying to make no decision under nothing. So, it's interesting.
All right, I digress. So there's a way to do it. There's a way to do it, family. I think that's what Premier League chairman, right? Mr. Williams has been tasked with kind of bring some money in and do this thing properly, right?
But the thing is, isn't he proven? I mean, it isn't proven his thing. The money is there because Pooh send me like a dividend no one then. So proven out there. They have the money, and I just think somebody needs to come in and just invest in the Premier League and just make it modern, make it classy, there's so many things, so many ideas. You know what I need? They need a woman on the board because the man them now make a good decision.
Here we go. You know what? A ball chat line up itself. Invest in the Premier League. Football family, let's check out the chat. The reason why we ran a little bit later today is because we did a segment celebrating the life and legacy of one Mr. Diego Maradona at the top of the show. So back next week with a regular hour-long show. Let's wrap up our show. Let's hit the chat real quickly to see. No comments over there. Big up yourself, GBG Bang. Big up yourself, Dalton. Junior, come on. This is it now. Let's wrap up our show. Football family, you can connect with us on Instagram at Ball Chat Podcast. We're on Twitter at Ball Chat 1. You can email us at ballchatpodcast@gmail.com. Like, subscribe to our show at the YouTube channel that you're watching, or go to our YouTube channel and subscribe to our show. You can also subscribe to our Facebook page at Ball Chat. The audio version will be available on iTunes, Twitch, or wherever you get your podcast. Junior, come on.
Hold on, Benton.
Yes.
Everybody that's listening right now, if you have not done so as yet, go to Instagram. Type in, search for Ball Chat Podcast. Hit the follow button. We follow back instantly. If you're watching right now, go to Instagram. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Twitter at Ball Chat 1. Also, link us on Facebook. We are a football family, and we are very incorporated. So forward and let us build the community together.
All right. Look at more family. Stay.
All right, later.